we're finally at our campsite. This was a long day. It was really hot. It was like a high of 94, but the humidity here as well, like probably over and close to 100. But we are at Spring Mill Park. It's an Indiana state park. I've actually stayed here before. It was a nice day. It ended up raining the morning that I was leaving, so I had to kind of get the trailer all hitched up and everything in the rain. However, still not as complicated as probably my friends in larger camper trailers. So yeah, we're just staying one night again, and tomorrow there is some more dock diving to be had. We're over at, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but it's Run, Jump, Splash. It's in Orleans, Indiana, so southern Indiana. It's a great facility. So I try to go here every time I can for events, but we made Velveeta mac and cheese, but I heard that if you put Rotel in it, it adds this extra oomph. So this is my first time trying this. So we'll see how that is. And then as far as a beverage, I just helped myself to a high noon. But anyway, I am exhausted. I think we're probably going to just settle in and get ready for a night's sleep. We're probably going to keep the AC on tonight because it is still so hot, even at, gosh, 8:36 p.m. But I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning, and hopefully it's a little bit cooler tomorrow. All right, good night. Good morning. I didn't film anything this morning, mostly because it was raining again. So I took a really quick shower and went and grabbed some breakfast for myself, fed the dogs. Finn had an event this morning at 9, so we went back to Run, Jump, Splash for that. And then he had one more jump later in the morning. So we just got finished with that. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great weekend for him as far as his events. He did take away a title, which is pretty exciting. So in air retrieve, he got a senior title. So that's when he completes 5 jumps in that division, which I believe is 14 to 17 feet. 14 to 17 or 14 to 16. So I could look it up, but we were trying for what's called a hard charger award. So I can go over that a little bit later, but not this weekend for him, which is fine. We headed back to our campsite to grab some things, and then I figured we would go and do a little bit of venturing around Spring Mill Park and see what we can see. I think that there's a pioneer village, which I don't think dogs are allowed, but I might just leave the doggos in the car with the AC on and check it out myself. But let's go explore this area. Spring Mill State Park is a 1,358-acre state park in the state of Indiana. The park is located to the south of Bloomington, about 3 miles east of the city of Mitchell, on Indiana Highway 60. It contains a settlers village, the Gus Grissom Memorial with accompanying Gemini 3 space capsule, a nature center, and campgrounds. A nature center is open from spring through fall and features live snakes, a bird watching window, natural history displays, and a children's area. During the winter, a small nature nook is available instead at the Spring Mill Inn. park is located on the Mitchell-Karst Plain, which allowed the park's caves and sinkholes to form in the limestone. The caves include Bronson Cave, Twin Caves, Shawnee Cave, also known as Donaldson Cave, Hamer Cave, and others. A boat tour of Twin Caves is run by the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, which travels about 500 feet into the cave. A portion of the park is virgin timber protected in the Donaldson Woods Nature Preserve. The Mitchell-Karst Plain Nature Preserve is notable for its large number of sinkholes, more than 1,000 per square mile. Many of the park's features were constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, including the Spring Mill Inn, Spring Mill Lake, and most of the trails. The park attracts about 675,000 visitors annually. Prairie plants may be found in several locations throughout the park. Periodic controlled burns help renew and protect these ecosystems so the native plants continue to bloom and grow. Wildlife in the park include white-tailed deer, coyotes, red and gray foxes, raccoons, skunks, wild turkeys, great blue herons, kingfishers, and wood ducks. The park was one of 14 Indiana state parks that was in the path of totality for the 2024 solar eclipse, with the park experiencing 3 minutes and 21 seconds of totality. Spring Mill State Park offers a powerful illustration of the link between the natural and cultural worlds. The water flowing from several cave springs led to the founding of an industrial village in the early 1800s. Pioneer entrepreneurs took advantage of a constant water source that never froze, using it to power several grist mills, a wool mill, a sawmill, and a distillery. In turn, pioneer settlers shaped the landscape around the village, clearing land for agriculture and timber. The park today continues to illustrate how nature shapes us and how we shape our environment. A parcel of old-growth timber sits in contrast to regenerated forests. A man-made lake struggles to survive against the inflow of silt from cave-fed systems, and the native flora and fauna face challenges from man's introduction of new species. Visitors can explore this story in the park's 4 interpretive facilities: the Pioneer Village, Lakeview Activity Center, Grissom Memorial, and Twin Caves Boat Tour, and see it reflected on the landscape as they hike the trails. The interpretive staff also offers a wide variety of public programs, including an extensive special events schedule. Public programs are offered year-round. The restored Pioneer Village, founded in 1814, contains 20 historic buildings to explore. The centerpiece is a 3-story limestone grist mill, built in 1817, that still grinds cornmeal today. Heritage interpreters portray the year 1863 and demonstrate period crafts. These features serve as an educational venue for the public and are the focal point of Spring Mill State Park. When operable, the mill is run for 5 minutes every hour during regularly scheduled hours, spring through fall. The wheel and gears drive the 2-ton millstone, grinding the corn into meal at a rate of 25 to 30 pounds in 5 minutes. The meal produced is sold to the public with an annual sales of nearly $40,000. A combination of railroads, war, and a shift from pioneer to industrial manufacturing began to unravel the prosperous community at Spring Mill. The 1850 census noted 20 families living at Spring Mill. Within a few decades, the village was abandoned. At its peak, Spring Mill was a hub of activity defined by water power, teams of oxen, small family businesses, and a nation at peace with itself. Well, that was fun, but it's getting hot and I think these dogs are ready to go home, as am I. So we're gonna start headed back to our home, and it's gonna take us probably 2.5 hours or so. We might take a rest break in between there, but until next time, have fun camping.